2 years ago, I applied for Japanese scholarship. I went for the exam admission. I went for the first exam and the second exam. Everything went great. More than 200 people applied for the scholarship. Only 9 people were selected for the interview. Luckily, I was one of them. They called me for the interview. I went in, carrying all the confidence that I will get it. And I had this eureka moment of, yes, I did it. I'm going somewhere for my master program. We started the interview. Everything went great. The first question and the second question. It started with some questions about my credentials and experience. They were smiling and I was smiling back. And I felt, yes, it's mine. Toward the end of our conversation, let's say friendly conversation, I was told that the university chosen for me are Japanese-oriented universities. And I was asked if I was willing to study my master degree in Japanese language. I stopped for a second. I showed some hesitance and reluctance. I felt I was a bit shortchanged. That was not the deal. I literally felt that someone pulling my legs down the table. So it was really hard. In a snap of a finger, I remembered all the animation, Japanese animation I have watched, of course with English subtitle. And I also remembered myself sitting in a small Japanese room, having a well-sealed book that I cannot read. I made the decision. I was really fast. I told them, I'm sorry, I really cannot do that. Then I was asked to leave the room. Did I do the right thing? I'm not really sure. Because the right question is, what would I have looked like if I have said yes? I would have looked different. Maybe I would have been talking about a different topic today. Maybe about a Japanese experience that I have encountered. Maybe my personality and appearance would have been different. And feasibly, I might have gotten smaller eyes. I am sure that none of you is really comfortable with saying yes on a daily basis. No is a safer answer. But no forces no change. No keeps the thing the way they are. No prevent people from succeeding. So, saying yes will ultimately open chances for you. Will ultimately open chances for you that nobody can get them. So, according to different experiences I had inside Yemen and outside Yemen, I ended up with something called, and I created something called the 10 consequences of saying yes. The 10 consequences of saying yes, they start with a faithful yes. And they end with something that everybody likes. So, yes, consequences. Everybody now is wondering, what are really the consequences of saying yes? a faithful yes. Why not just yes? Because not every yes is sincere. You might say yes, not because you want to say it, it's because you want to escape from doing the thing that you really want. You're saying yes because you really need to have time to cook up a very good excuse for saying no. But you're not ready for it. And that's what I call a temporary yes. And a temporary yes, that's not the yes I'm talking about. Because the yes that I'm talking about is the faithful one. And you can never have it unless you have faith in your capabilities. Unless you know that you're capable more than you are. The second one is, if you say a faithful yes, you just need to get ready and expose and pull up your sleeves and expose yourself to lots of opportunities. The good and the bad. The happy and the sad. The memorable and the tragic. It's not really a matter. And if you expose yourself into different opportunities, you get this eccentric feeling, and I call it eccentric because it's really strange, of perseverance, which is continuing in a course of action without regards to discouragement or previous failure. And it's really strange. And people are just going to notice that. You're failing, then you're standing again. And you don't really care. Your perseverance and determination to win will only lead to solid experience and skills. And the solid experience and skills will lead to rigid network. And the meaning of network, a person who has a rigid network, is someone who has already interacted with different people from the vertical or the horizontal level. And if you have the rigid network, you get the ultimate confidence. If you have interacted a lot with different people from different backgrounds, you're just going to get the ultimate confidence. And I call it the ultimate confidence because it is the ultimate confidence. You would need a confidence in every single step here. But you will never have the ultimate confidence unless you have built a very excellent network, a solid one, and a solid experience and skills. Here we go. Objective communicator is the second step. It goes with no saying, the better confident, the better communicator. And what I mean by an objective communicator, because we communicate all the time, but the way we communicate is different, is someone who understands the three factors of communication. That starts with understanding, sharing, and having a common interest. So if you can communicate with people, and people can understand you, and can share the negative and the positive about your idea about a certain topic, about a topic of a common interest, then you can be called an objective communicator. An objective communicator is someone who can adjust his communication to different audience. Me as an English teacher, I am Mr. Expert maybe, because we teach different people and we have to communicate differently. I teach beginning, intermediate, upper, intermediate, then advanced. So the way we communicate with beginning levels is quite different from the way we communicate with advanced levels. So if I go into beginning levels, I'm talking about Yemen, for example, I would say, Yemen is okay. I might have someone say, hey, what's okay? It's beginning levels. Yemen is okay. Then I go into Yemen is a good country. Then you go, Yemen is a very beautiful country. Then you go into an upper intermediate level, you would say, Yemen is one of the best countries I've ever visited. So different vocabularies, different grammar, different structure. Then you go into an advanced level, you would say, despite Yemen is one of the least developing countries in the world, the country seems to be widely affected by both globalization and information technology. And if you can do this, you're an objective communicator. Second step is you're a leader. You're an objective communicator and you're a leader. And this is how I define a leader. I define a leader as a yasser, who with perseverance has taken an opportunity to build a solid experience and skills by interacting with different people that leads into an ultimate confidence of a better communicator. That's what a leader is. It's a summary to everything that I have said. And if you're a leader, you earn success. And if you earn success, the last step is become happy. Success is the final destination of happiness. But, however, none of these steps is going to be accomplished if you are not going to take the first letter of every step. If we take the first letter of every step that I have talked about, we're going to end up with the secret ingredient that leads into a faithful yes, ends with happiness. So if we take the first letter of every step that we have, the first letter of every step, we are going to end up with be yourself. You can never have a faithful yes unless you are yourself. And you can never be happy unless you're happy of who you are. 2 weeks after my Japanese experience, I got a chance to travel to Oxford University, England, participating in a teaching training program. Sounds better, huh? So, I thought it's a good chance for me to do something about my no attitude. So I thought before traveling, I decided to say yes to everything I encounter and observe the result. It was difficult at the very beginning, especially when you hear about how your country is being stereotyped. Especially when I met a member of the program and he asked me, where are you from? I said, I'm from Yemen. And he gave me that face. I said, oh really? But you look nice. Or a teenager, a high school. He asked me same question. Hey, where are you from? I said, I'm from Yemen. Oh, I've heard about that country. Do you guys have cars and laptops? Oh. Or a third person I met in Scotland asked me the same question. Where are you from? I said, I'm from Yemen. He said, where is that? Is that a state in America? Because you sound American to me. So I thought part of my job is to change these silly stereotypes about my country. And I can never change them unless I implement the yes concept to everything I might encounter. So, with perseverance and the help of, this is me. Looks like me, right? The help of some great friends. Because friends really impact your negative or positive response to anything. Friends who implement the positive energy to have anything accomplished. They helped me a lot. So everything beautiful happened inside the university. It's because of a yes thing that I decided to say yes. I said yes to many things. I had 21 people participating in this program. And I ended up having 21 people as my best friends. And that's what I call a solid network. The International Day. I said yes to dancing bara' for the first time inside Oxford University. Every yes I said made me a better communicator. A person who can lead a group and smile all the time. In my experience, of course, it ended up with earning success and becoming happy. And all it was done because I was myself. You might say that saying no, saying yes all the time is not the smart way. But my philosophy of saying yes is different. It's not saying yes to every stupid request. My philosophy is saying yes to anything interesting and challenging that has to do with your goals. That is the meaning of saying yes. And that is what I think is worth sharing. At the end, I think we should consider life like a ladder. We put our first foot in the first step and our second foot in the second step. We might fall down. Don't despair. Try again and again till you reach to the top. And if you're there, don't forget to ask yourself, what does life need? If you ask yourself this question, don't answer. Don't talk. Only remember, everyone in this big world needs love, needs peace. Yes to lovely people and yes to yes people. Thank you very much.